What's going on, YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. So I'm sitting here in the house and I found out it's been like a week since I last posted, and I didn't even know that because I have been working on a project. I'm building up a 1999 Jeep Cherokee XJ, and I've been filming on that every couple days. I'm doing stuff. I'm not going too fast on this project since I'm pretty much doing it mostly by myself. And so I've been filming on that, and it's been taking all this time. And because I'm filming in my head, okay, I'm getting some film stuff done. But what's happening is it's not getting out to you guys yet. So I get people asking, hey, man, what's going on? Are you dead? So, not dead, man. So here's the deal, guys. I once did a video not too long ago. It was the 3 fixed blade buoy challenge, and the same guy put out another one. It was the 2 sword challenge. So basically it was, your favorite 2 swords. What are they? Show them. What do you got? So I'm going to show you my 2 favorite swords. Now I have a bunch, and I have them kind of all over the place, but I put out a little bit of an array to show you guys like what I was thinking, some of the choices I had, and then I'll show you what I picked, and we'll go over why I picked them, because they're awesome. So let's keep going right here. Okay, so I laid out a few that I love, and these 2 are both machete swords that I made. And I happen to be a big fan of this Sultan one that I did because it works awesome. And you can see all that oxidation on them between the Chris and the Sultan. I use those kind of a lot. I do that a lot. This one right here is starting to oxidize. My 1.5 hand handle katana that I made. I made that to just play around with. And then the other day, I was walking outside with my sword in hand and to go do some gardening. I was knocking down a few pieces of little, stuff that was hanging over the driveway that I need to get rid of. And just as I get out there and start swinging away, my daughter's friend's mother comes to pick up my daughter, and she sees me out there wielding the sword doing gardening. She thought it was great, though. So I have a bunch of katanas. These are just a couple of them right here. Just regular off-the-shelf katanas. They do all right. Those are pretty good. This one right here, and that one right there below it, that's the Cold Steel Katana and the Cold Steel Gladius, and they're machete steel. So I still count them as swords because that's what I use them for. I have some fun with them. That katana right there and that Gladius has taken down more little trees and brush. I mean, those things, you can see them, they get used. And then, of course, there's my homemade Gladius, my little D-Bad Gladius right there. That thing is awesome. It's just a beast. I freaking love that thing. So the swords I have that are my favorites, for this one not to be in there, ooh, they got to be pretty good. And one of them is going to be like, what the hell is he thinking good? It's not your atypical sword, but I love it. So let's show you that right now. Okie dokie. So my 2 favorite, if I have to have just 2 out of all the collection, even out of the ones I made, if I had to have just 2 that I can keep, these are the 2. And this first one is going to be one that's a little head scratching. Yeah, you might know what that is just by that. Oh, it's the Cold Steel cane sword. And normally a cane sword would not be one of my 2 because cane swords are generally weak and cheesy and made as, just crappy little gag things or just non-serious swords. But this is a serious battle-ready sword. It is fun to use. I have used the crap out of this thing for taking down the 1-inch forest trees and things like that. I mean, this sword is heavily used. heavily used. And I love it. The thing is still crazy sharp, and it is just awesome. It's very comfortable. I'll probably smash into something here in the house. It's very comfortable to wield. It's freaking, oh, I didn't hit the ceiling. It's just amazing. So one of my two would be the cold steel, and we're gonna show a little bit of usage here too, because you can't just pull out a sword and not hit it into something. So my number one, and you guys have seen this one, handmade in Japan. This one has all the pieces that I wanted on it. I got to be hand in hand with the making of this sword. And you can see, you can see the katana when you can see the shape. Look at this. It's not just a solid piece. You see how it goes down, out. This thing is hand freaking made, and it is wonderful. So let's take this and put that over there. And so now this sword is so perfectly balanced. And oh, I gotta watch out for that ceiling. Took out a little piece of wood in my beam. This is so perfectly balanced and beautiful to wield. It's just the perfect katana, in my opinion. It's just amazing. Everything about it, you can see that there's no himon. It is just straight out beautiful all the way through, and you can see all those scratches and whatnot. I use my swords. I use them. So get that in there. Look at all the scratches on this tip, man. I have put this thing through hell, and it has taken every bit of abuse that I have given it. It is fantastic. So my two would be my handmade Japanese katana and my cold steel cane sword. These are two swords that I will always have and that I will always use. Just great. So I have film already using them. We're going to go over that real quick, and who knows, maybe we'll go knock down a couple little trees outside. All right, hold on. All right, so we are going to get started with this cold steel cane sword. And you can see I'm outside, excited to be thrusting this thing around. Nice little stab action. And the top of that milk carton came off, oh my gosh, like it was made of paper freaking mache. This thing is just so sharp. It's an incredible sword. This is not your, Bud K cheap cane sword. This thing is an absolute freaking weapon. So we came into the 1-inch forest, and you can see I had all these little 1-inch forest trees, and it was just, easily every swat was a cut, and you can see it was just flawless. This thing, ooh man, it's everything you would want a sword to be. And if you hurt your leg, you're gonna be a-okay, because it's just freaking great. Look at those beautiful cuts. So here we are testing, is it sharp? After those cuts, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that it was sharp. But look at this, man, the cucumber salad test. This thing just peels the skin right off. Anything I wanted to do, I was doing with this guy. Look at this. Can it feather stick? Yeah, of course it can feather stick. It's a cold steel cane sword. Why can't you do bushcraft with it? Hello! So, here, I decided to throw the old cane sword. Now, with that weird weight in the rear, it took me a second to get it. But as you can see, boom, the cane sword throws well. Thing was just an absolute beast. All right, so working on my my handmade katana, I decided to take this out to the trees. Oh, it was winter. Look at that. And this thing, man. I mean, it was just. I mean, it was like cutting hair, man. It's like I'm a katana wielding hairdresser in a forest. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I'm not even swinging. I'm just bringing it down. Bringing it down. And they're falling down. Alright, so you know if I'm going to throw a cane sword, I'm throwing katanas. And this thing hits with so much power. And I mean, just dogged it. Look at that, man. That is freaking good. I can barely get out of the damn tree. Ow! That thing is awesome. So good, I decided to throw it twice. Check this out. I backed up pretty far. I don't even know if I... yeah, I did. Ah! Look at that thing, man. I backed up pretty far on that throw just to see how good I could get it, how well it would fly. Yeah, I'm a pretty strong dude. It took a lot to get that out of there. Oh, yeah. All right, so the last thing I'll show you with this before we take them actually outside today is I'm going to take down this little piece of branch, and then you see that big tree right there. That's like a 2-inch tree, right? And watch how very few times it takes to knock this tree down. All right, there's a good cut in there. Boom. Gone. It's just that awesome. If you get a chance to get a handmade Japanese katana, get one. So, as you guys know, I'm a pretty practical guy, especially, you know, with usage and with blades. I'm a pretty practical usage guy. So, this is what I like to use my swords for. I look down the driveway and I see overgrowth, right? And I'm like, well, that shouldn't be there. This is that the cars hit all this when we come up the driveway. So I just take out swords and I just cut straight through all the overgrowth. And some people like to use like a, I don't know, a hedger, things like that, or some kind of trimmer. Not me. I would rather just get out here with a sword and swing away, because nothing says make your driveway clear. Hey, look at that. Like using a sword, especially a cane sword, to get out there and remove all the overgrowth. So, as you can see, this is the kind of stuff I do with my swords all the freaking time. This kind of stuff with my swords, and I do it with my expendables buoy. I love hitting overgrowth with that thing. So now I got my katana. Let's see. Well, that was pretty easy. That was pretty easy. Let's see. I got some growth down here. It's crossing the driveway. Every time I come up, my car hits it. So let's get rid of some of this. Got this little vine action here. Well, that was easy. Got this little tree kind of just growing out here. Well, that was easy. And this one right here. Now with a katana, swipe up and in a circle, and it's a lot better. So, well, that was kind of easy. Growth be gone. All right, so we got the growth. We got that down. And that's pretty simple. We're going to have to go hit something else. But first, I'm going to show you guys something. I have not made a video in about a week. And there's a reason. I paid $1,100 for a 1999 Jeep XJ. All right, Cherokee XJ, top 10 greatest vehicles of all time. It's just an awesome thing. Now, this had molding here. It had the corner molding. It had side molding all the way down the sides. The bumper was all scratched up and jacked up. I just threw a little bit of Rust-Oleum on there just to make it look a little bit better. but again, it had all the molding. And after taking off the molding, I found a big rough spot here and one on the other side. And I did a temporary patch just because I'm doing the whole thing over. So this is why I haven't put up a video in a week, is because I've been filming, working on this. And I'll show you, you can see how rough the paint is, right? We come in here, you can see how much work this thing needs, and it's kind of jacked up looking. Let's throw on a light over here. And it needs help, man. The thing needs help, right? This is after I took off the side molding. That's where it was. But you can see that, I mean, it's still decent. If I buffed it out, you know, there's still paint under there. There's still good paint. But I wanted it better. So after taking off all that side molding, and you can see what it looks like, and I'm videoing this whole thing, so you'll see the whole project. I ended up cutting it right where all those holes are. I cut right above the holes and gave myself a new wheel well outside of that. And this is just a sneak peek because you guys are going to get the full video. I have been painting. I took it apart, took apart the front end, painted the front end first just to test it, put it back together. This thing looks incredible. Incredible. Now, you've probably seen paint jobs that look similar to this all over the place. And you think, oh, I know exactly what that is. Well, guess what? I bet you don't. There's something very special hiding in this paint job. And so you guys will be able to see what that is. But I know what you're thinking it is. And it's not that. No, no, no. But look how pretty it is. Oh, man, I can't wait to show you this. So this is the reason there has been no video in the last week. So now, I showed you guys on taking down 1-inch forest trees, and I showed you taking down stuff like this and just clearing a hole in the driveway, right? I say we take it over to the old fir tree and see if we can't get this thing worked out. All right, let's play with some of these downed branches over here. Let's see, because these are a little bit thicker than what we were working with. Let's see here. Well, just because they're thicker doesn't mean it's going to be a problem. Not for a cane sword. All right, so let's take off some of those. I want to expose that big one under there, and that's what I did. So I'll use the katana, and we'll hit that. But just easy, easy money. All right, so let's switch them up. Let's switch them up. We'll use the katana. Oh my God, it was so butter smooth. it's like the stuff isn't even there. Just swings right through. Oh my gosh. So basically, this was a two-sword challenge, saying, hey man, what's your favorite two swords? You know what I mean? And why? And I believe, look at that. That's just resting on a log. That's all the way through. I believe I was able to show you pretty simply, bug in my ear. I was able to show you pretty simply why these two are my favorite two. Will other swords do the same kind of work? Sure, why not? But I have more fun using these two. So let's see, I'm going to hold both of them at the same time. Let's see if we can't get these two guys. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, so that's it. That's it. My swords, my top two, my favoritas. And pretty soon we will be going over my truck. Not pretty soon. I still have to have the motor guy do the motor because I'm not doing that part myself. Let me just pin these down right here. And then I have to wait for some stuff to come in the mail, new bumpers and all that stuff. So until then, you know, we'll have some other videos coming. I just have to remember that just because I'm filming a truck doesn't mean they're getting online and you guys are seeing things. but we will catch up. And I have a bunch of blades in the house ready to go. Plus my design being made by Kukri House is on the way. It should be here pretty soon, so I can't wait to get that one to you guys. And I already have a local place, the Army Barracks store, wants to have me bring it in, and they want to put me on a table and do some knife questions, answering things, and showing off my blade when it comes in, and possibly using that as a platform to become an authorized dealer for Kukri House, and maybe even trying to get my knife into production runs. So we will be finding out. That's all news that I'm working on. Things are really stepping up, and life is good, guys. Life is good. So here it is, the two sword challenge. Well, challenge met right there. So all you guys making videos out there, here's your challenge. Put out your 2 best swords. Show me why. I'm Donnie B all day. And until next knife.